All right, Barbershop, you're talking about the Wilder Joshua negotiation. You say that social media has...
Oh, social media has played
influence.
it's played a huge role in this fight, and social media is not going to get the credit it deserves for promoting the fuck out of this fight, man, and two, being instrumental and continuing the conversation for Joshua's team and Wilder's team, and that's why I'll say this before we get into what's going on with the fight. The Boxing Hall of Fame needs to add a social media element component to the Boxing Hall of Fame, because you got to pay respects to people like Ellie. You got to pay respects to people like Boxing Voice, been in the game. I think that their radio show is fucking epic. When I get a chance to catch it, it's always great personalities. You got 3 or 4 people, they disagree, they talk shit, they talk in urban conversations, which relates to me very well. You got Dante's Boxing Nation, you got Ego. Like, in 20 years,
these guys are going to be very
what are you going to do with these
influential.
gentlemen?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they deserve to be enshrined in somebody's Hall of Fame, albeit Las Vegas Hall of Fame, Minnesota, but something needs to happen. You understand? They have to be remembered in some shape or fashion. You understand what I'm saying? So that leads me to level up the importance of the social media component of this fight. I mean, Deontay Wilder says he did a video about giving it's in the bag, that the $50 million is in the bag, right? Eddie Hearn comes back, I didn't get no email, right? So they're conversing in social media, so they're using and manipulating the media, or we're using and manipulating them, who, depending on what side you're on. And I think that it's just essential. And the great thing about it is it's open public, it's open information. It's interpretation may be different. Your interpretation, Aaron, may be a little bit different than how I interpret things, but the information is there, right? And I think that the fight is going to happen. It's just a matter of when, whether it's going to be next or after next. You understand? I believe Deontay. I just can't see Anthony Joshua. I just can't see Anthony Joshua getting out of the way. You know, like he lacks head movement. He's I genuinely don't believe that.
So you're talking about the fight now, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the fight now.
Okay, well let me put this in there,
Okay.
because I've heard and asked almost everybody about this fight now, and the narrative is the same. Anthony Joshua has the technique, the skills, the IQ. He's in position. He doesn't get out of position. He's that elite prototype boxer that you would want, you know. Whereas Deontay is the contrarian, man. He's like almost the exact opposite. But the fact is, he's got extraordinary power. So that's why the fight is compelling, man. So I want to see, are you looking at it the same as most people?
Deontay Wilder's from Wakanda. And and I say that loosely, and I say that to draw humor out of you, but he's from the bottom. He's come from nothing. He's fucking, like, there's something that can't be taught, like what you say about Terrence Crawford. Like, that shit can't be taught. What you say about Earl Spence, I don't think that shit cannot be taught, you know? And I think that's the edge. Yes, Anthony Joshua may have a better looking jab. Yes, physically he may look more pleasing to the eye. But at the end of the day, when they get up in that ring, Anthony Joshua has not gone through a 7-round that Luis Ortiz put Deontay Wilder through. And I also think there's something to be said about the people's champion. Deontay Wilder calls the boxing voice quite often. I had a 2-hour phone interview with Deontay Wilder. You understand? He's spread all across social media. Michelle Joy Phelps, Dante's Boxing, and whoever.
He doesn't say no to people.
He doesn't say no. But if you flip that coin, you put it on the other side. Where's Anthony Joshua's interviews? Is he the people's champion? You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, in addition, is he America's champion? He represents me as a black man, and more importantly, he's just in it for everyone. Like Deontay Wilder, character-wise, is just a special guy, you know. And I say that with reverence. I say that with goosebumps on my arms. Like I have the utmost respect for a man that believes in himself, no matter how you feel about him. Like, we cover boxing, and you know, sometimes we cater to our audience sometimes, like we pander them with questions sometimes, because of how they're going to respond to us and how we want them to feel about us. But Deontay Wilder, he's, nigga, what? I'm me. Like, you know, and that's what Anthony Joshua lacks. See, people don't understand the metaphysical component to fighting. And I don't want to lose people in this interview, but there's something spiritual about Deontay Wilder that's not going to be equated in his reach. That's not going to be equated in his 6'7" frame or his 214 pounds. It is something that you can't measure it. You have to have gone through something. Whether you beat cancer, whether you was on food stamps as a kid, whether you was an adopted child, whether you was a young lady that's been raped. Like, I'm not, like, there's something special about Deontay Wilder that you can't measure, but if you've gone through something, you fully understand who Deontay Wilder is. And I think that his hand is going to be raised. I think Anthony Joshua is a good guy. I think Anthony Joshua needs to be a little bit more seasoned in terms of just being a better boxer. I don't think he's reached his full potential as a boxer. I think he probably needs to add an American trainer to him, because I always tell people, I lose people when I say this, but like, Americans got a different cadence, right? I'm not sure, have you traveled overseas or anything, but they have a different cadence, right? And especially like black athletes, they have a different cadence, or minority athletes, right? Because I played against a lot of Latinos in college. We have a different cadence, right? And I think overseas, people have a different tempo, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's something to be said about having a minority trainer. Robert Garcia hasn't lost a fight in years, right? Floyd Mayweather Sr. created Floyd Mayweather Jr. I think there's something special. It's something that I don't have the analytics or the data to substantiate my point, but I see it every fucking Saturday night. You see what I'm saying? I see it in Terrence Crawford. I see it in Earl Spence. You understand what I'm saying? Where they got their magic. It's something about them. Like, it's something about their cadence, their tempo, what they've gone through, and you put all that shit together, and it combusts into a great fighter. And I think Deontay Wilder has it. You understand? And there's very few fighters that has that, what I'm speaking of right now. And Anthony Joshua doesn't have the element. So even if Anthony Joshua knocks him down, Deontay Wilder's gonna get up and win the fight. Like, I'm serious. It's like, I'm not sure. I never had a relationship with my father, but I've seen it on TV, right? What up? What up, Showtime?
You in this? Am I in this?
Yeah.
You're in.
Ask me anything.
We talk about Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. That's
Good
what
idea.
Good
idea. Lots of people are. As they should. It's going to be good.
I think that, speaking of a father, right? I've never had a father, right? But I believed in my mother 100%, right? And I never doubted that my mother would come through. I was on food stamps. I was homeless. Drugs was rampant in my family. I had 4 or 5 cousins that did 25 to life in jail. But I 100% knew that my mother would come through. And I'm not equating, I'm not getting all superficial and trying to draw a correlation between my mom and Deontay Wilder. But I'm talking about in terms of boxing, I believe Deontay Wilder would come through. That's just what I personally believe, man. And I don't see that in Anthony Joshua. I genuinely don't see that, you know. And
we haven't seen Joshua get in with a dog like Deontay Wilder.
No. And there's only one dog in the heavyweight division. Like, you know what I mean? They're great fighters. Fighters have great moments, but there's only one dog in the heavyweight division. I mean, he got knocked out by 40-year-old Klitschko. Klitschko's best days was behind him. Yeah. Klitschko was coming off a loss to Tyson Fury, which was basically a lackluster performance. Like, Tyson Fury just basically jabbed and feinted the shit out of an old man. You get what I'm saying? And his body can't physically respond. We've seen it in Oscar De La Hoya versus Manny Pacquiao. We've seen it most recently in Miguel Cotto in December against Saddam Ali. Yeah. Like, your body just don't respond the way it used to respond. And it's nothing we can do to compete against Father Time but have great habits. But at the end of the day, Father Time is going to defeat our human body. And it's called death. But prior to us getting death, I just think that Anthony Joshua just doesn't have that, you know, as they say in France, je ne sais quoi.
That it factor?
It's beyond it. Because who survives that 7th round at any division?
He didn't even go down.
He didn't even go down, but he came out and had the awareness to use his jab for a round to get his, and then we go in for the kill, the 9th and the 10th round. I mean, there's no reason. I'm like, for real. It's no reason he shouldn't have won that fight. There's no reason Ortiz shouldn't think about it. Like in real time, there's no reason. He should have came back in the 8th round and took care of it.
He
and
almost
finished
did, man. I thought it was done.
He almost, but guess what? What I talked about. If you haven't gone through nothing, you don't understand the metaphysical element of fighting. If you haven't been on rock bottom, Deontay Wilder started fighting at 21 years old, I believe.
For his sick daughter.
For his
Nobody
sick daughter.
talks about that, man. He used to drive a beer truck,
He used to have kegs on his fucking shoulder, man. Delivering kegs, man. He was trying. Deontay, see, here's another special element about it. He was trying to find a way. He was creating his greatness. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan, where you just pick up a basketball and you go 1 for 1, right? Michael Jordan went 1 for 1, picked up a basketball, and that was his greatness, right? Per se, like I'm on the outside looking in, so I don't know exactly, but Deontay Wilder tried basketball. He was a beer driver. He worked at Marie Callender's or some type of. He was a server or somewhere, and he fell upon boxing at 21, won the bronze medal in the Olympics, and now he's a heavyweight champion of the world. So beyond boxing, if Deontay Wilder's story, and he's a living testament now, if that fucking don't inspire you, whether you're black, white, Mexican, Asian, or brown, racist, atheist, agnostic, it doesn't matter who you are, his story should inspire you. And two, his story should be a story you should tell to someone who's going through something. You get what I'm saying? So I just think there's something special about this kid, and I just believe it, man. There's something really unique, special about him that I fully can't grasp it. You know, I've been on rock bottom before, but that 7th round, Sam Watson said this so eloquently. He said, you know what Deontay Wilder did in camp for that fight? He went and visited a sick hospital full of cancer kids in
Memphis.
Yeah. He left. He broke camp. Don't you understand that? He broke camp to go talk to some sick kids in Memphis, Tennessee. He was supporting Sam, but Sam was honored by the city. Got the key to the city of Memphis. So that's an exceptional feat in its own right. You know what I mean? But I think that there's something special about Deontay Wilder having it was an interview the first 10 minutes. It turned into a fucking conversation the last hour and 50 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then for him to talk to Ness. I watched the first 10 minutes of that show because I wanted to get the reaction of people that was real close to him when Ness said he got a text from Deontay Wilder. How fucking cool is that?
No,
think about it.
Yeah,
think about
cool.
it. He's not, to people like traditional boxing fans, he's not fucking Dan Raphael. He's not Kevin I. I'm not talking bad about these guys. He's not Lance Pugmire from LA Times. He's fucking, to them, he's just Ness from ThaBoxingVoice on YouTube. Or I'm just Fred from Barbershop Conversations on YouTube. You get what I'm saying?
That shows Deontay's character, man.
But that shows, like he said, he never forgot the price of milk. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's something. It's bigger.
Even when he's up, man. Even when he's on top.
He's a millionaire, dude.
That's crazy.
He has 3 homes: Alabama, Atlanta, LA. He's a millionaire, man. We need him, but he understands the fact that he values our work. He values our opinion. Whether, I don't know, I've never been on the other side of Deontay Wilder because I've only rooted for him. You understand? So I don't know what the other side. And I rooted for him first because of his story. That his daughter's story just fucking read. The first thing I knew about Deontay Wilder was this motherfucker was green, but he was fighting for his daughter. That's all. Fighting for your daughter? I have a daughter. I didn't have a daughter then, but I grew up an impoverished child, so I understand what goes into that story and creating that story and bringing that story full circle. And so I organically rooted for Deontay Wilder just as a fighter, though.
Yeah.
But then I started watching him, and he started talking about Colin Kaepernick and the flag and
he stands for
Donald Trump.
Man.
He stands for a lot. When he should be talking about making $50 million, he's talking about, socioeconomics, the social climate, the religious climate, the political climate of our country. We're fighting this weekend. Am I talking too much?
No.
Okay.
There's one more thing I want to get to.
Go ahead.
And it's the actual, when they're in the ring, man, how do you respond to some people that may say when Wilder does get out of position, Joshua can capitalize on those moments? What do you say and how do you respond to that?
See, I don't want to give Anthony Joshua any tips, but I'm just going to say it like this. Anthony Joshua carries too much bulk. Anthony Joshua is too robotic. Anthony Joshua needs a black trainer. Needs something. He needs to fight to a different cadence. It's something about it. Like
interesting.
It's something about it. you see it in all great fighters. Cotto.
Yeah.
Okay,
you
good.
said, though. So
Okay.
you think he just needs some? Yeah, that's funny because he's got all them guys in his corner, man, and they're all telling him one thing and everybody's telling him something else, and it's like.
I mean, they're all great. I'm not saying he's not, but you got to be special to be special. You can't be good. You can't be great and be special. Like the Detroit Pistons were special. Michael Jordan couldn't beat them. They were a special unit. Michael Jordan was a special player. Anthony Joshua needs a special team around him. He can't beat Deontay Wilder being mechanical and not being able to move his head, no waist movement. You understand? He has no flexibility, no dexterity in his body. You understand your fast twitch muscle fiber, flexibility. You understand? He doesn't have that, you know? And Deontay Wilder has that. And yes, Deontay Wilder is not technically as sound as another guy, but it don't matter. He's going to punch you first because he has fast twitch muscle fibers. You understand what I'm saying? He's able to read and react. Cover 2 versus cover 3, man under. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to trick your ass. You know, like the Will linebackers come, oh, he faked. Oh, he's back in the window. Now he got an interception. So these are fucking cues and understanding that I think Deontay Wilder fully understands. But like I said, there's something about Deontay Wilder that makes him special. He comes from nothing, and now he's on the verge of having everything. Nothing stops a man from coming from nothing, and he's on the verge of having everything. Like
So, Fred, in a situation where we see
10th round knockout.
Okay.
10th round
Let me
knockout,
say
yes.
this, man, because I'm going to try to be objective. I want to get your best responses. If the fight does play out in the sense that it's a slow fight, very tentative, and Joshua stays on the back foot and tries to outbox Deontay, get Deontay in a situation where he's got to create offense, then what? Then what happens?
Well, we saw that in the Parker fight. Anthony Joshua, keep it real. Anthony Joshua was a fearful fighter. A fearful fighter. He was afraid to engage with Joseph Parker with a fear of what's coming back. He got hit. See, the commentaries didn't talk about him getting hit in the body. I'm not sure if you saw that shot with the right hand. He got hit.
The right hand was there.
He got hit with the body. And Anthony Joshua is afraid to fight in close proximity. You understand what I'm saying? And because he's too mechanical, he can't slip. You understand? He's not what everyone's making him out to be. He's a great fighter.
He does very well smothering punches.
He's slightly overrated, man. He's slightly overrated. He's very mechanical, predictable. You know, like equate Anthony Joshua today. Who the fuck wants to date a predictable person? You know? Okay, we wake up, we have sex that night in missionary position. We get up, cook breakfast, you go to work, come back. You pick up the daughter at 5 o'clock. I pick up the son at 5 o'clock. We meet, have dinner at 6:30. We go to bed, we say our prayers. You turn over at 10:30. We do the same thing over and over. Who wants to live that life? You understand? The special sauce, the secret sauce, the ingredients to the Coke, the secret ingredients that's in the fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken, the secret ingredients that's in your grandma's pozole is in Deontay Wilder. End of discussion. That's just what it is, man. And I just genuinely believe that, you know? And that's it, man.
Yeah,
and,
man, this is the voice of the people, man.
Voice of the people, yeah. This is the voice. And shout out to Ness. And how you doing, Queen? And I want to say this to Ness. Me and Ness had a disagreement. We squared up like real men. We squashed it out. So salute to you, Ness. We've only made eye contact since then, but we shook hands, said what's up. Respect, Ness. Continue to grow. You're probably on the verge of hitting 100,000. I'm not sure where you're at now.
We're at 75K right now.
75K. Congratulations. Hope you get to 100, 150, 200,000. You deserve. Your fucking podcast is fucking amazing. I think it's Matt. Who else?
Matt, Doomsday, and Casual Fan.
Casual Fan. They're fucking funny.
And please, Barbershop, make sure to make note that you said earlier today, man, everybody has a role in this.
Everyone has a role. Like even that. Like my high school coach told me a long time ago. You want to be a Hall of Famer? Yeah. You want to be all city? Yeah. Do it in your role. Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer being in his role. You understand? Scottie Pippen could have been traded and been the best player on anybody on 24 other teams. But he said, you know what? I can be a Hall of Famer. I can be great in my role. And he chose to be great being Robin. You understand? There's only to be one Michael Jordan. And at the end of the day, every media personnel, I tell people want to be competitive, and I don't give a fuck about what the Boxing Voice does. I don't give a fuck about what Dante's Boxing Nation does. I have to do my job. I have to be a Hall of Famer for Barbershop Conversation. For those 22,000 subscribers, I have to be a Hall of Famer for them. And that's it. I never really looked at competition. Competition, we get on a whole nother topic. Competition is based off of your fears and based off of your inadequacies. It's not based off of what they can do. People think it's what they can or can't do. No, it's what you can't do. That's what creates the fear, and that's what makes them greater. But if you're a person who works on their flaws and doesn't really get distracted by what other people does, you have the ability to excel where you're not excelling. Because if you're focused on like, oh my God, what's he or she doing? Why did she get that interview?
Barbershop, I'm just thinking, man, and it's funny, I just thought of this, but I'm going to look back on this interview and I'm going to take a lot away from what you said.
Thank you.
Man. So thanks, man.
Appreciate it. What up, Ness? Continue to keep growing.
Ain't no other sight in the game, 'cause see the boxing voice.